Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I was sharing earlier, I don't like using mics. I have a principal's voice. That's when I used to yell at kids all the time. So, like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. You know, they used to hear my voice booming through the hallways of New Haven High School. So it might bring back haunting memories as kids. But welcome to First Fridays. I'm Keith Evans. I'm on the board here, and we have a tremendous speaker, as we always do. But I wanted to take the time to introduce her. Our speaker today, Lena, Yarian, is the president of Junior Achievement of Northeast Indiana, where she has dedicated nearly 40 years to inspiring and preparing young people for success. Under her leadership, Junior Achievement of Northeast Indiana delivered over 190,000 student learning experiences this year alone, reaching students across 27 counties in northern Indiana and 2 counties in Michigan. Lena began her career with Junior Achievement in December of 1986 as a program director of applied economics, and in 1997 was appointed president. A native of Garrett, Indiana, she holds a degree in business with a concentration in communications from Indiana University, Purdue University of Fort Wayne. Beyond her work at Junior Achievement of Northeast Indiana, Lena serves on several boards, including the Hospital Aid Foundation Board, the Judy A. Morrill Recreation Center Board, the Timothy L. Johnson School Board, and the Garrett State Bank Board. She is the proud mother of 2 adult children, Spencer Yarian and Britt Marie Ellen Herman, both who reside in Phoenix, Arizona. Please welcome our speaker today, Ms. Lena.
I feel like I have all this stuff on here. Okay, hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Don't let this fear, because I have lots of notes, but I'm better with notes. So I know there are many pages you're thinking, we're only here, a very short time, but it's really big font. So many pages. So anyway, when I was trying to think about what to talk about today, I thought I'd focus in on a question I get asked a lot, and that is, how do you stay with an organization for 40 years? So either I found my purpose, or I haven't quite wanted to update the resume. But I think it's the first. I think purpose is really when your work connects to your values, it stops feeling like a job and it starts feeling more like purpose. So today, I'd like to just take you through my journey, share with you a JA resource, no surprises, right? And then talk about 4 principles I like to live by, and then wrap it up with what's next. So we'll go here. So we're going to start with how it all began. So my dad came over from Denmark because of a farm program, and he landed in Liado, Indiana, and he loved America. It's a land of opportunity, and so when he went back to Denmark, he was determined to get a visa so he could come back. So in the interim, his work took him to Sweden, and he met a beautiful lady. Her name was Kirsten Sorensen. And they dated, but then it was time for him to go back to Denmark, or go back to America. And then she's in Sweden, a little lonely, and she said, I'm going to get on that boat. So she did. She got on a boat. It took a week to get from Sweden to America on the boat, and she wanted to see if she was in love. Okay, I'll hold the suspense. She was. So she became her mom, and so that's kind of where it began. And it's really from them that I learned the principles that really are embedded in Junior Achievement. They weren't called that. My dad didn't say we're going to learn financial literacy. They just lived them. And so if I begin with the first one, entrepreneurship. So my dad left everything in Denmark to come to America because America was the land of opportunity. He believed wholeheartedly in the free enterprise system, and when you work hard, you reap the benefits of your reward. So with an 8th grade education, he started his own business, a plumbing and heating business, and so that's how I saw entrepreneurship played out every day. I learned workforce readiness, not by choice, but from a Viking dad who really wanted to embed his principles in me. I wanted to be in sports after school. My dad says, if you have all that energy to run in circles, you should instead use that to get a job. So after much negotiation, we found that I could work at Caboose Coffee Shop from on the weekends, and then from 5:30 in the morning to 7:30 in the morning before going to school. I was probably the only person that smelled like pancakes and breakfast in first period, but it all worked, and so negotiation was also something I learned. Then I learned about financial literacy because I had like great thoughts of what to do with all my tip money. I was going to buy cute clothes. My dad's thoughts were different. He handed me the Wall Street Journal and said, I need you to pick a stock. Ugh, right, you don't have to close. And so I did. I picked Virginia Electric Power because it paid the best dividends. And I thought, at least there was that, right? Well, I wasn't old enough to make the investment, so he set it up on my behalf, and lo and behold, put it at automatically reinvest the dividends. I'm like, well, there we go. I didn't even get my dividends. So again, that's how I learned a little bit about financial literacy. So you can see my dad and I, we weren't like in total alignment. I respected him, I loved him, but I wasn't quite like him. So he flew a little 150 Cessna plane, had a love for flying, and so I learned flying, got my pilot's license when I was 16, only because it was a way I could spend time with my dad so we would have something in common, because there were so many things not in common. But when I look at back, when your work aligns with your values, you find purpose. And that's really what I've been blessed to find at JA, is a purpose. And so I'm just going to show you, has anybody seen and been on the resource here to Career with Junior Achievement? Raise your hand. Yay! Love it. Well, for those who haven't, I figure the people in this room, you guys are just mentors by your nature. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, right? You are the people, and I'm sure you interact with lots of people. And it's May. Is it May? It's May. And, everyone's graduating. Kids are graduating from college and from high school. So I just want to show you a sneak peek of a resource. It's free. And if you do anything, pass on this resource to someone else. So welcome, Gage. I didn't bring my mouse. Gage can work in that center piece in the computer. I can't do that, so we're gonna have Gage be, he's gonna be my Vanna today. You can just keep that up. There you go. Let's go to career inventory. So this resource, we have 30,000 kiddos on it, but it's an amazing resource. It's free. It's on our website. So what you do is you first do a career assessment, and there are either 100 or 50 questions, and you click through and you kind of figure out what you like, what do you think you have interest in, and it will align you with 50 different jobs that match your interest. So if you go to career exploration, you can either say which jobs match my interest, or you can click on one of the, let's say you already know what you're interested in. You can click on one of the career clusters, and it'll take you right there. So we're going to go to construction, let's say, because I'm so wound as a construction worker. Let's take the first one. And what it'll do, it'll give you the local salary or the regional salary rather than national, because we want to keep our kiddos here, so we want to show them what salaries are relevant here. And then it'll show you a quick video on that particular occupation, and if you scroll up, it will show you what universities in the state of Indiana can you get education in that area. And if you keep scrolling, it'll show you who hires for that particular job in our region. And so let's click on Arby's. You click on Arby's and you go to, click there. And you scroll up and it will show you all the different type of jobs that Arby's hires for, right? Who knew that they were more than the beef, right? These are all the careers you can do when you go to work for Arby's. If you get out, go up again, and we will go all the way up. Let's go to explore education. So let's say I just don't know where I want to go to school. You can just click on and look at all the universities in the state of Indiana and what do they have to offer. You can also get out of that and you can sort by employers. So what employers are around here and what type of jobs do they offer? So anyway, thank you. Gage, can you get out of that and get back into PowerPoint for me? You are so, he's so good. If you like him so much, he's going to have another appearance a little later in the presentation. He didn't know he was going to play all these roles. I'm embarrassing him, I'm sorry. So I do want to go into 4 principles that I think are really important. So for me, they are faith, abundance, relationships, and creativity. So we'll go to the first one. I'm very much rooted in my faith. I have to begin every day grounded. I have to start there, otherwise the day gets out of hand, and I know if I have my faith, it doesn't give me certainty, but it does give me trust. And I think as leaders, we're a lot of times asked to walk into the unknown before our staff. And if you have trust, it gives you more comfort tend to walk into the unknown. I also believe in abundance, and this is a biggie for me that drives so much. Abundance drives possibility, scarcity drives competition, and fear. And to me, the world is full of abundance. I got to believe that. There's enough for everybody. There's enough opportunity, there's enough ideas, there's enough generosity, and if you believe that and you have that perspective, it's so much more fun to live. And so it really is about a perspective. So I'm going to do a side story here. So abundance, right? I remember when I had to, the board gave me the task of raising $13 million to create our new building. I've never raised that level of money in my life. And so I also believe in this kind of law of attraction, right? And so I'm like, okay, the world's abundant, I got this, law of attraction, I can make it happen. So okay, and I'm a believer in faith, I got this, I just need my first million, right? So this is God going through my head all the time. I go into Hobby Lobby and see this at the counter, it's $1 million. And I'm like, oh crap, I really need to get focused on, I need money. It's not, I had the million, but I didn't have it really focused right. So anyway, it was a kind of a lesson I learned. I don't know if it's a real lesson, but I thought, okay, is God just playing with me? But anyway, it worked when we got our 13 million. But when you have a mindset of abundance, it really shapes your perspective of how you want to look at the world. So, in the count of 3, everyone tell me what you see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Say it louder. 1, 2, 3. I heard. How many see a duck? How many see a rabbit? Now, how many see both? I'll give you a second. How many see both? Gage, you're worrying me. Are you getting there? So yeah, honestly, you know, perspective, and what I think was really important in life is that ultimately you win if you can see both perspectives. Because people see things from different views, and when you can see both views, that you kind of win, because then you can gain their understanding. I'm gonna wait for Gage to see it. No, got it? Okay. So the other thing I really believe is that there's relationships really drive everything, and relationships are never a bad investment, never, right? And that's, again, speaking to the choir here, because it's why you hear, you know that relations drive everything. I kind of view it as it's really all about loving on people. Hopefully internal culture, JAs, you just love on people. External culture, you just love on people. And when you do that, and that's your focus, it makes everything easy. So I do a lot of fundraising. I don't consider it fundraising, I just consider it, I'm gonna love on people. And if their mission and purpose and what they value aligns to junior achievement, it's great, they'll support us. If it doesn't, I'm not disappointed, because my mission was to love on people. So if I loved on them, nothing was wasted. And so it makes fundraising easy, it just makes everything easy, just love on people. The next item is creativity, and this has kind of played out well for me in the nonprofit, is you've got to get really creative. And creativity isn't just meant for artists, right? We have to use our creativity to solve problems. How many consider yourself creative in this room? Awesome. Poor Dave. Not a creative bone in there at all? No? I'm picking on you, sorry. Okay, so I need 2 creative volunteers. You try? You gonna try? Come on up. Gage, again, I know you, welcome Gage back. Let's hear for Gage. Okay, so Gage, we have this little activity here we're gonna do it because this used to be a flat area. Have you ever done the nail activity? No. Okay, well, it's really simple. All I need you to do is balance those 10 nails onto the top of that nail there. And you guys can talk, you guys can...
Is there a time limit?
Well, I don't know, is there a time limit, guys? What time do you guys want to get back to work?
It all has to be on the same, just on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, balance on both sides. I feel like I've seen this before, but I've never done it. You know what? We can start this whole thing.
I'm also a communications major. This I might not be the best partner.
You know, can someone pull up a YouTube video? ChatGPT. What is it?
What we got, let's recruit her. Do you have an idea? Okay.
You said, all right. What are the rules here? Okay, that was. Okay, so if I just hold it.
You got an idea? Help them. Sure, go ahead.
Oh, so
We can use other things.
somebody grab some tape. As soon as I let go. But you know what? That here we can do this. We can go.
Can you flip it?
We can do like
Put the
this.
nail in the cup, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The cup is full. It's a strong cup.
Okay, put it the other way. Sorry, anyone wants coffee?
Yeah.
You said it on my coffee, put it the other way.
Yeah, let's flip it.
Oh, you
We gotta
want
have some creativity in this.
Okay.
All right, just cheat and count.
I will take that as a win, right here.
That was good.
Good for you.
I was just the manager on that one. I
I love it, I love it.
Actually, I was labor.
So, Gage, will you show them another way of doing this without 2 cups? So I had a little surgery, so I can normally do it, but, so he's gonna put one nail down. You take the other nail, you do it every other. Then you put the other nail on top, so you got the 2 big ends together. And this is where
Oh, see.
We were headed in that
Yeah.
direction.
you were headed in that
We
direction.
just didn't do it.
I couldn't remember how they did that part, but I'd
Thank you, Dave. He's been practicing for 2 days. But you know, I love it. You guys figured out another way. And so, you know, when you can use your creative juices, you know, creativity begins where the obvious fails, right?
We built ours for earthquakes.
What's that?
We built ours for earthquakes.
You did. Yes, that's very true, very true. So, kind of in summary, I just believe, be grounded in faith, that's just me. Believe the world is abundant, love on people, and stay creative. And just when you do all those things, only positive things can happen. And so then I want to go into just briefly what's next. And so I'm not done at 40 years. I have been able to be inspired by something I never thought I'd have the opportunity. And we are leaning in on transforming high schools. Whoever thought I'd get an opportunity to work on transforming high schools? So education is kind of built to reward academic achievement, right? Grades. Well, the middle 50, that's middle 50% of the population in the schools don't achieve academically, so they just don't engage. And if you don't engage, what happens? You just don't care. You just don't want to be there. You spend 7 hours in a chair not caring. What if you change that? What if you can make education relevant, interesting, and fun? When you do that, you drive up every positive metric that there is. And that is what 3DE by Junior Achievement is doing. It's transforming how kids take high school. And when you can engage that middle 50, it's all about building confidence. When they become confident, their perspective changes. They begin to believe in the world as abundance. They see the possibilities. They see the role that they can play. It is the most rewarding thing I've ever got to be involved with. Is to see a person that couldn't order off a menu in public stand up and make a presentation in front of her whole class because she now had that confidence. It's a structure that allows you to practice and fail in a safe place. It's all structured around small groups, and it's built in some competition, so they want to win. When you want to win, what do? You want the people in your group to be successful. So instead of ninth grade, how we're kind of wound to kind of put others down so we can lift ourselves up, these kids want to have their cohorts win. I have seen presentations where these kids can hardly speak English, and they're standing up and making a presentation, and the person beside them whispering what to say, and they say it, and they're whispering again, and they say it. They're trying to make everybody successful. The values and the type of people they become, it's not just learning, and I love that we're teaching the 6 competencies. They're like creativity, culture, agility, collaboration, creativity, innovation. All the things that we want out of a young person, doesn't matter what industry they go to, whether it's employment, engagement, or enlistment, doesn't matter where they go, you're gonna need those principles. Those are amazing, but we're creating people that have true values because they're practicing the kind of values we want people to have beyond just those things that make them employable in life. So anyway, I should have just talked about this, but I'm afraid that you couldn't just talk about JA, although I'll give you another quick story. So I got divorced. I'm driving to Lafayette with one of my board members, right? And he's like, oh, Lena, I'm so worried for you. And I was like, well, it's okay, I'm getting through this. He goes, no, you can't date anybody. And I was like, well, why not? Well, because you can't talk about anything but JA. I'm like, I can. Well, he goes, okay, so what's your favorite movie? Oh, Top Gun. Say Top Gun because guys like Top Gun. What's your favorite color? Blue. Guys like blue. It was like all the way to Lafayette. I'm like learning how to date. It was like whatever. Anyway, so I do most passionately talk about JA. So I do want to show you a short video that'll give you a little introduction into what 3D is all about. And oh, look, Gates is going to help me do that. And he does it so well.
is such a springboard for students to multiple opportunities.
If we can motivate kids to care about their studies, to care about what their career path is, that's going to pay dividends down the road.
We have been really focusing in on what is that mission of Crazy Pins, and having them here and being able to explain how they have already gone above and beyond really starts having those light bulbs go off.
We get the opportunity to sit with our students and walk them through their thoughts of where we're going, how to expand Hagerman, and giving them positive feedback.
Competition goes hand in hand with creativity and innovation.
At first, we had an idea, but it wasn't really as effective as the one we have right now. We had to go to our judges, and she helped to better our solution.
Coaching those kids was a lot of fun. So we kind of talked about the seasons. We talked about the, making it a competition or some kind of challenge, and it ultimately made them stand out to all of us.
Through 3DE, you are bringing everyone to the table to transform a high school model and help more students to see their potential and the impact they can make in Allen County.
When I walked in the center, I was thinking, I'm going to be a nurse or a doctor, and as I'm starting to get ready to leave Snyder, I'm thinking I'm going to use my people skills and I'm going to be a lawyer and talk to people.
Junior Achievement's doing a great job in inspiring our students, working with our school systems and the companies right here in our community, and that's great for all of us.
The more that you can challenge the kids today, I think it's so important, not only for ourselves, but our society and for our generations that are following us.
I wanted the students to know that there is great opportunity in the field of STEM in general, in engineering, technology, and computer science in particular. And I wanted them to know that we have top-notch labs. I wanted them to know that we have very engaged faculty, that if they were to come here, be part of the family, they would get access to all of them.
We just are so thankful to be a part of it and encourage any other business that is thinking about doing it, do it. It is not a huge investment of time, and it will come back to you in spades.
It's important for the business community to come into the classrooms. It puts the students in an environment that's professional, which a lot of them aren't used to. They feel respected, they sit up straight, and hopefully that can give them confidence when they leave high school and make decisions on what they're going to do next.
I think programs like 3DE are very significantly contributing to the turnaround that has happened and have given young people an opportunity to visualize and contextually learn in a way that they probably didn't have an opportunity to do so years ago.
With the evolution of JA and the programs, it's moved over into education about the workplace and job opportunities right here in northern Indiana.
That partnership with Fort Wayne Community Schools has truly elevated what we call our 6 competencies. High demand, soft skills that businesses want. Well, we have to teach those things. But most importantly, it's going to create a return on investment that businesses have never had in Fort Wayne.
I would tell every business owner and local person in the community, find a way to get involved to help our future kids. I think it's a great way to give back, and it helps our community.
Whether you're going into a manufacturing position or a health science position or a business position, communication is always going to be there at the forefront. So teaching those skills and making sure our students have those skills when they graduate, that's what will make them successful.
So our winner today is the Copian.
Cosgrove has first win of the year, so let's give a cheer for her.
So you kind of saw in there, the freshman to sophomore years are rooted in case challenges. There are 6 case challenges that are real, working with real businesses on solving a problem. In freshmen, they just kind of have the ability to identify what the problem is. In the sophomore year, they get better at creating a solution that's a viable solution for the business. The junior year, they now learn persuasion, so they now know how to solve a problem. So what's a real problem that would create a product or a service that had value? And they work in small groups to actually create these miniature presentations or companies. Sometimes they actually can make a product, and other times they can just create a business plan for that product. They don't have the resources always to create the product. And tell one other quick story. So I was judging some of the presentations at Northside, and these girls get up on stage and they're all dressed in pink, and they're a little bit disheveled, but the cutest can be all in pink. And it turns out that they were all on the autism spectrum at some form, and they created sensory clothing because they said there wasn't enough sensory clothing for them. So everybody knows what you know. Everyone, that's their perspective. And so they took these hoodies, and they were describing what they're going to do. They're going to make them animal-based, and so the ones were going to be rabbits, and they were going to take weighted blankets and make the ears, and you could wrap around and stay calm. You could butterflies, attach the back of the hoodie. You could wrap around and get the comfort. The cords on the sweatshirt, you could gnaw on them. So when you're nervous, and the label in the back was in a silk envelope, so it wouldn't scratch on you. So here are kiddos that aren't necessarily celebrated every day. They have a very unique perspective, and yet they could create a product or a service that would be hugely valuable. And they stood up in that stage, and they're pitching this because we had the top winners would get $50, and the one young lady says, we did our plan, we think we need $750 because my mom has a sewing machine. great, and so I'm like, okay, we're funding that one, right? You can't not fund that one. And so it's just amazing what's happening. The senior year is all about consultancy, and it's how do you take and provide internships for the masses. So if you have the ability, you're networked, you're connected, you can get an internship. If you have a car, you can probably drive to that internship. In Fort Wayne Community Schools, where we're doing this in all 5 high schools, wall to wall, not all young people have that. So we create an ability, it's called consultancies, where all kids have a chance to do an internship. So rather than them going out, we have the businesses come in, and for an entire year, they're solving in small groups a problem that a business has. Amazing stuff. I could speak all day on it. Anyway, so I do want to wrap up my presentation today, just kind of revisiting my core principles: living by faith, being grounded every day, abundance to me, having that the world is an abundant place. It's a great mindset to have. Love on people. Can't go wrong if you love on people. And then you guys are probably the most creative group I've ever seen. So there we go. I love it. No coffee, but great idea. So I do have a parting gift for you, so that hopefully you felt loved on today. So please take a JA candy bar as you leave, so that you know today that someone loved on you. So that's all I got. Thank you. And I guess we take questions or something. I'm not sure, but I'll take a question if anybody has one.
So I know that we have one of the best JAs, maybe the best in the United States. And so what would you say, as the leader of the organization, what has made that so?
I think any nonprofit, it's always driven by a board, and our board has had an expectation that we had to be number one way before I even joined the organization. So when the expectation is that you have to be good, what do? Just like the expectations we have of kids in the classroom, when the expectation, the bar is set here, you just rise to the bar. And then again, when you have an amazing staff, you got an amazing board, you aren't doing too much right if you don't have success, right? So yeah, absolutely, and thank you for that compliment. And I can't say thank you enough. There are 8,000 people that volunteer for Junior Achievement.
Locally?
So we in our 27 counties, 8,000 people. And then sitting all the way to the end of this table is Janet, and she would like to make it 8,001. So I'm just saying.
I need 14 for next Friday. Come see me.
Any other questions? Yeah.
I put you on the spot a little bit, so forgive me. For people that aren't familiar with 3DE, can you give like a specific example from Parkview or Steel Dynamics or Fort Mills or something? What's a project or what's a task that they presented to the kids that the kids had to figure out? Or can you kind of walk us through a little bit? You gave some really good examples of kind of how it works, but like what's a specific thing that they did?
Yeah, so we try to build in, when they have a case challenge, they always build in one of the 6 competencies. So that's a key. So SDI had collaboration. So who should they collaborate with in order to fill their pipeline? Arby's has, so there's some national case challenges. I don't know if you just saw, we've had 6 times our young people have competed against national. So we have local case challenge and the opportunities for them to compete against the other 80 schools in the 3DE network. Our kids, Snyder and Northside, have been in the top 4, and we have already had 1 win. It's amazing. And they create these apps. What these kids can do if they want to. But Arby's leans in on how do we get more 16 to 18-year-olds to come to Arby's? And a lot of the kids at Northside have never had an Arby's sandwich. And then I'll give you a final one, and this one is really, this is how amazing is Delta Airlines. How do you, another national case, how do you improve the experience at the gate? Well, kids at Northside, very small group of them have ever flown. So in order to kick off the case challenge, they had taken a room like this, and they recreated it they went through the security gates, and they made it really rough on the kids. They were patting them down, right? So by the time they got to the gate, they were like anxious, right? So then they put the rows of chairs, and they, you know, and these kids came up with, so they don't want the Delta doesn't want you to leave the gate, because if you're out getting French fries, right, you aren't at the gate and you aren't boarding on time. So they want to know how to keep people there. So they came up with the robots going to deliver your fries. I mean, great solution. So the kids get rooted in the company and the problem, so they understand the problem, so they can come up with a really good solution.
Awesome. That's very helpful. Thank you, Lena.
Okay. Thank you. Gage. Okay.
We want to thank you, Lena, for coming. And you know, for me as an educator, I know the importance of. Oh, Junior, can you hear me? Jack it up. For me, try not to use that mic. I know the importance of JA. I used it a lot when I was at high school level as a teacher, and middle school level as a teacher. I knew when JA came into my classroom, my kids were going to get something. And that meant a lot to me, and a tribute to what you guys are doing. A tremendous job. I think she deserves another round of applause. One of the things that I took away from it was, there was a quote that she said, "When work aligns with your values, you find purpose." And you know, for me, that really resonated, because again, let me just ask this question. Is there anyone that's utilized JA or has been a JA volunteer? Or, okay, I mean, you see the hands that are going up. You are needed in this community, and we appreciate your work and you lending your expertise. We have one final event for First Fridays. It'll be June 5th. As you can see up here, it's being advertised, our Lead Well event. We still have 4 tables available for vendors, and you can get the information on Eventbrite. But we'd love to see you there. We have a tremendous lineup, and we're just looking forward. That will be our last First Fridays event for the summer, so that will be in June, June the 5th. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. Is there anything else I need? Okay. Thank you for coming today, and have a great weekend, and look forward to seeing you at our Lead Well event in June. Thank you so much.